is called a rapid test. So basically all it is a finger poke.
All it takes is just a prick of a finger, and in less than 5 minutes, you and only you will know the results of your HIV test. This quick and easy method is what the Boys and Girls Club are hoping will help destigmatize and increase regular testing among teens.
What we've been seeing a lot with youth in our community is a lot of basement tattoos. That doesn't mean necessarily the tattoo happened in the basement, but that people are ordering tattoo guns online. They don't know where they're coming from. They don't know if they're actually brand new. They're tattooing each other. They're tattooing a few people at a time, which is very dangerous, and reusing ink. So just really unsafe practices with tattoos. And then we're seeing the same thing with piercings. And why we're really working with youth on this issue is that we want everybody to get tested, right? To reduce that stigma. And the kids that we work with, we've talked to them a lot about this, and there's still a lot of fear.
Fear of what others may think, and fear stemmed from the lack of knowledge of HIV and other bloodborne infections. In fact, HIV is no longer seen as a death sentence, but a manageable disease.
About 2 weeks ago, Jordan and myself were driving a youth in the van. She was talking to us about a tattoo that she just got, and we were like, oh, that's really, told us it was a basement tattoo, and we're like, oh, that's really dangerous, you can get some pretty scary infections from that. And she was like, oh, but mine never got infected, I'm fine. So I think some of it is a lack of information, and I think they're just nervous about who might find out about it, what their friends might say, what their family might say if they are getting tested.
About 25% of the population that has HIV doesn't know that they have it. So it's really important that people know their status, the medications they have now, and they work so well that people are living long lives. And we're looking more at HIV as a chronic long-term illness that's manageable. So it's changed a lot from the early 80s to where it is now.
But despite the change, there's still a strong stigma around HIV. And with the growing trend of basement tattoos and piercings in the Cariboo, the Boys and Girls Club felt it was important to educate and create awareness for this year's World AIDS Day.
I watched actually yesterday a bunch of videos of youth in our community piercing each other, not wearing gloves, reusing needles, really terrifying stuff, and want kids to be aware. It's not just because you're sexually active that you need to be tested. Have you had a piercing? Have you had a tattoo done? What's gone on in your health history, right? And just to create conversation and get kids to open up, because it's something we shouldn't be afraid to talk about.
From professional tattoo artists and piercers, condoms, and educational pamphlets, the Boys and Girls Club were able to accomplish just that. An opportunity to openly communicate, ask questions, and most importantly, learn.
Before I started getting tattooed, I didn't even know that people would do that. In my mind, it was crazy to do that. Then I started apprenticing at the tattoo shop, and I've seen more and more. And it shocks me every time that we have to explain to them, this is where you went wrong, and these are all the things that you're experiencing. This is a staph infection, for one, and our shop, we have a special room just for cleaning, and there's 3 separate processes to cleaning each instrument. Whereas a lot of basement tattoo artists, they get a spray that says sterilization on it, they spray it, they're like, oh, well, I guess we're home free, which is not the case at all.
Having an infection in your piercing, sometimes you might not see something like HIV or a fungal infection. It might not show up for days or weeks or months, and even for HIV, years.
While scary to even imagine, these are facts and information every teen should know.
We want kids to take charge of their own health. We want to destigmatize getting tested for STIs and bloodborne infections. It should be a part of everyone's regular health care. And we feel like kids feel like there's pressure and stigma associated with getting tested, and there shouldn't be. And so we just want them to be comfortable with it, see what it looks like, have the proper information, and start breaking down that stigma, one generation at a time.